Good afternoon. My name is Medhat Andrawis. I am from Macquarie University, Australia, in Sydney. I am working as a lecturer in accounting auditing and also a researcher in auditing, specifically audit judgment. This include professional skepticism, audit quality, and other areas as well. I would like to thank the INCP for the invitation and for their hospitality and for asking me to do such a video. And I'm quite sure I'm going to do videos in the near future as well, beside this one. I would like specifically to thank Alexandria for her invitation and for her hospitality and accepting to meeting me and supporting my research. What I'm going to talk about today is professional skepticism or auditor professional skepticism. This is my interest in research, and I have been reading about professional skepticism for more than 15 years, and also supervising research students in this particular area. While I have all this experience with respect to professional skepticism, I still have some questions in my mind, and I hope we have some answers, especially by researcher and academic. What I'm going to talk today about is professional skepticism. Specifically, I'm going to look at definition of professional skepticism. I'm going to look at also why it's important, why professional skepticism is important, and what's happened if the auditors lack professional skepticism during the audit. And the last part of my presentation will be about what we're going to do in the future, what the questions which we should answer, how we help auditors to be skeptical, to improve audit quality. So this is an overview of what I'm going to present today. So let me start with the first point, which is what is professional skepticism. Having that long experience reading and researching and supervising students about professional skepticism, I have still problem of how will I define professional skepticism. But let's look at professional bodies around the world, how they define professional skepticism. For example, under PCAOB standard, professional skepticism is defined as questions, mind, and critical thinking. This is two important criteria for professional skepticism. What we mean by question, mind, and critical thinking, we expecting that the auditor look at informations, especially information which is contradict each other, or there is a conflict of information. We're expecting the auditor to go and more do work in this particular area when we have information which is contradict each other, or when we have a problem in getting sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. So other examples is risk or fraud risk factor. When auditors come across fraud area, maybe the question, mind, and critical thinking, it's very essential in these situations. So having said that, if the auditor missed these two criteria, which is question, mind, and critical assessment, so the whole audit is not good. We impaired the quality of the audit. We lost the quality of the audit. Similarly, if you look at ISA 200, the International Accounting Standard, they talking about critical assessment of audit evidence. So it's so important that the auditor not accepting the evidence which is presented by management, but rather checking all this evidence again. If the auditor is going to be too skeptical, it is a problem. If the auditor have low skepticism, it is a problem too. So that's why, because we have efficient and effectiveness, it's very important, as mentioned in the auditing standard, international auditing standard, that auditor need to be balanced between how much work they're going to do, and whether it's really necessary to do all this particular work. So we have to be careful. It's not a good idea to be very skeptical, because auditor is going to come or to do or collect a lot of evidence, unnecessary evidence. So we lost actually the efficiency. And in the meantime, auditors need to be effective in their work and produce high quality audit by making sure they have acceptable level of skepticism.